Boruto might be going insane, because what he revealed in chapter 35 is honestly the craziest S-rank mission I think was ever introduced in the Naruto franchise. And today we're going to go over what that mission is, where it originated from, and how it could positively or negatively affect the future based on the results. Obviously, there's going to be spoilers for chapter 35 in this video, so if you didn't already go read it, I highly recommend you do. It's honestly a great chapter, and according to when I'm uploading this video, the official version should already be out right now, so definitely go check it out. Oh, and let me say this before I go any further, I just made a Patreon account, and on there I'm going to post all the streams that I can't keep up on YouTube from when I reacted to spoilers with you guys. It will all be on Patreon. I haven't really fiddled with the app all that much yet. I'm going to try and see if I can make it free to watch, but I'm going to leave the link to that information in the description, so go ahead and follow me on there if you do have an account and you're interested in that. Okay, so getting into the video, first off, I want to clarify that this S-rank mission is going to strictly be for Boruto and Sarada to execute. It doesn't look like anyone else is going to be involved based on how the conversation went between them and their current circumstances. So near the beginning of the chapter, Boruto returns to Konoha as he finds Sarada as she's just exiting the hospital. He drops a kunai with a spiral pattern. Wait, actually pause. Because I remember talking about this specific scene on stream the other day. I'm not gonna let you all get away with your crazy takes. I heard people say it's Kakashi, I heard people say it's Kawaki, Code, even Karin, for some odd reason. I believe sometimes people overthink a lot, and this is very easily one of those instances. So it turns out it was Boruto. Even though we never seen him pull out a spiral kunai, that doesn't mean he doesn't have access to it. Especially since in the chapter that Kashin Koji explained Boruto's FTG to us, we see right here that he uses shuriken as well as kunai for it. But I see how it might have threw some of you off, because to be fair, this is the first time we're seeing this. But getting away from that, Boruto just straight up tells Sarada to follow him out of the village. And I'll admit something too, I initially thought this kunai was for Sarada to keep. I knew the mission was coming, and I knew Boruto had a plan. I thought the kunai was a part of the plan specifically, but I was wrong on that aspect. However, for what I'm about to say, you can understand why I thought that so strongly. So when Sarada meets up with Boruto, they start to have this close conversation where they're talking about what happened during the Mamushi invasion, and also Sarada finally mentions Boruto's right eye, apologizing for it and for what happened that day, because she knows he was only in that position because she stepped in a fight that she had no business getting into, but it ended up okay in the long run, so I guess no harm really done on that part. But in this conversation, Boruto tells Sarada everything about Code and his motives. So this started because of Kashin Koji telling Boruto about Code's plan. Remember, initially there were only a few routes that Code could have took following his encounter with Boruto. The first route was that Boruto unalives Code. This was the most favored, but Koji didn't specify the odds on this actually happening. But I feel like it would have happened if Code took the bait that Boruto laid out for him and attacked him. That's why he was kind of egging him on. He wanted Code to come at him so he could end his life instantly. Boruto would have also ended Code's life if that one Rasengan Uzuhiko connected. But Code already knows that attack now, so it's going to be twice as hard to hit him with the same attack. This is why Boruto is criticized so much for letting Code live the first time. He should have let Code die from the effects of the Uzuhiko back in chapter 4. But instead, his poor decision making kind of showed itself here. So now it looks like him along with Sarada is gonna be affected by this mistake now. But for sure, if Boruto connected again, I think he would definitely end Code's life for good. I believe if it came down to it, Boruto would make that executive decision for the sake of the future. He's definitely more like Sasuke than Naruto, meaning he would have no problem ending a life that is more than deserving to end, regardless of the morality behind it. If it's for the sake of the future, he would do it, and Code qualifies as enough of a threat for Boruto to take action. So following that option, another option was for Code to turn a new leaf, meaning completely betraying the Shinju and joining Konoha. But even though that is an option, Koji still recommends Boruto to end Code's life if he has the chance, because the odds of this happening is almost nil, which means nothing or zero. So this future is really not ideal to bank on because it has a really low probability of actually happening. The last option was for Code to run off. After realizing that he can't beat Boruto, he runs off in search of Sarada. The whole reason he wants to do that is so he could take her to the Shinju to use as a bargaining chip. And the whole point of him doing that is so he could lure Boruto out, most likely into a trap that could result in his death. So it looks like the two options that were the most probable was that Boruto unalive Code and Code goes after Sarada. And we see from the chapter prior, Boruto failed to end Code's life after a few tries. So in the end, Code ended up running away, which means we now know what Code is trying to do. He's after Sarada. So Boruto did good to get to Sarada before Code. As always, Boruto has access to information that Code just doesn't have. And this information that Boruto has will give him the advantage in almost any scenario that involves future planning. And he also knew Sarada's exact location. So this is why he was able to find her so quick. We don't know how much time they have until Code arrives, by the way. So it's no surprise Boruto went to go find Sarada immediately after his run-in with Code. So now getting back into their conversation, Boruto told Sarada about Code and his plan to go after her, and what he's going to do with her after he successfully captures her. And also after that, we get to see what looks like a picture of Code eavesdropping during their fight with Mamushi to explain to her that he was likely watching right from the jump. And not only was he watching and also eavesdropping for certain key information, he was also quietly leaving claw marks all around the village. And mind you, at one point I'm pretty sure there were like over 500 Mamushi bodies in Konoha. So if Code was secretly going around and placing claw marks everywhere during this last arc, then there's at least 200 claw marks placed in random areas, random alleyways, random crevices, all across the village. So Boruto states that they'll have to use Kawaki Sukuna Hikona to take them out one by one. But there's also an additional risk to that proposal. Basically, if they mobilize the entire police force to search for them, it would most likely take too long. The process itself would be a nightmare. And other than that, there's a chance of intel leaks through eavesdropping. Because you know most of the random Konoha Jonin and police force are idiots. They would unknowingly talk about something that they had no business talking about, which would lead to Code finding out information that he was never supposed to know. So this is why Boruto is most likely not gonna go in this direction. What he's planning to do is way more bold. And also, something that I said was a possibility, but I never thought Boruto would actually go through with it. So on the next page, Sarada questions if the eavesdropping was the whole reason why Boruto had her come outside the village, so Code wouldn't overhear them and their potential plan. And Boruto confirms, but there's also a separate reason why they absolutely needed to have this conversation outside of Konoha. The other reason was so Boruto could hand his pins to her personally. And notice that it's not just one pin, it's two. And I think Boruto did this for a specific reason, which I will get into. But first, I need to explain what he's going to use this for. We all know this is for Boruto's Flying Raijin, but how is he going to implement the Flying Raijin in this new S-rank mission? So after he gives her the pins, Boruto just straight up tells Sarada that he's letting Code take her, stating that he needs to let herself get captured for the sake of the mission. Their destination is likely the Divine Tree's main base. And as you can see, the fan translation is kind of funky right here. It says he'll fly to her location, but that's obviously a mistranslation. It doesn't make any sense. What he meant to say is that he'll use those symbols to find Sarada and teleport to her right away. And by the time this video is out, you'll be able to read the official version and verify what he really said in this moment. But I'm pretty confident what I said is the real translation, or very close to it. So after this, he states that wherever he takes her, throw the symbols away immediately. She asks him why, and he replies that it's so he can accurately trace the chakra that's imbued in these symbols. Therefore, he'll be able to get to her a lot quicker and easier. Remember, the thing about Boruto's FTG is that he can't lock onto a symbol if it's moving. It has to be still. Well, he can target it, but it becomes a lot harder. That's why if we look back during the Sunagakure arc, in order for Boruto to get back to the others, Delta was instructed to drop the pin and leave it on the ground for him to properly track their location and teleport to them. And also, the reason why Boruto gave 2 pins to Sarada is for failure insurance. Say she gets caught throwing away the first pin or something like that, or maybe one of the pins gets destroyed or greatly damaged. She always has the other one. Maybe she throws one away and keeps one just in case. That's the reason behind giving Sarada 2 pins. It's a really smart concept. And yeah, that's also the one limitation between Boruto's variation of FTG and Minato's. And I only say that because a lot of people have been looking forward to Boruto potentially using seals like Minato one day. And I don't believe that's the case. Boruto and Minato's FTG is different. They don't use it in the same way at all. Like I just said, Minato utilizes seals while Boruto utilizes chakra. They both use ninja tools, but it's just the way they track these tools is what's different. So Boruto can get better at FTG, but he's never going to use it like Minato. He'll get better at using it in his own way, the way he was taught to use it. So maybe instead of having to drop the pins, one day he'll learn how to track it better, even if the target is moving. And maybe he won't even have to use symbols. But yeah, let's put that narrative to rest. He's not Minato, and he'll never be able to use FTG like Minato, only like Boruto. And that's fine, right? That's fine. I promise that's okay. So anyway, this is the S rank mission. And of course Sarada agrees to go through with it because she trusts Boruto in his intuition. But there's some things that we just don't know about this mission that we definitely should. The number one thing is Kashin Koji, right? Does Koji know that Boruto wants to go through with this? I don't think he does know, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. But since Koji doesn't know that Boruto wants to do this, that means he's going behind his back and doing things that could result in a bad, no, not even bad, a horrible future. I know Koji doesn't know that Boruto is doing this because in the same chapter, he tells Inujin that they're in territory that he knows nothing about. And of course he's referring to not getting any updates from prescience. So because he doesn't know the future, it's not in Koji's character to assign Boruto such a dangerous mission without having any information on how to succeed, or even if there is any future where he succeeds or not. It's just something that he would not do. He even says to Inujin that he wants to wait until the next update to do anything. Yeah, that basically confirms it. Boruto is gonna carry out this mission arbitrarily, so he's not getting any assistance from Kashin Koji, not even Shikamaru. It's a solo mission specifically for Boruto and Sarada. Maybe he'll add another person to help like Mitsuki or maybe Kawaki, but at the same time, it's because Boruto doesn't know the future, which is why I don't think he'll involve anyone else in this mission. He might see it as unnecessary, because like I said, he doesn't know anything about the future. So he might be unknowingly putting his comrades at risk of death in this mission. So the less people, the more likely the mission will go through successfully without having to needlessly sacrifice anyone. I'm going to make multiple videos on this situation because I have an idea as of why Boruto wants to go through with this mission. Now actually, it's more like I already know why he's being so impatient. So if you want to know why Boruto is going through with this mission without having the proper guidance and information, then stay tuned, because what I'm going to reveal could actually create a future that will defeat Boruto, emotionally and psychologically. But as far as what we know right now, in this next arc, Boruto is going to invade the Shinju's base, just like how they invaded Konoha, and he's going to rescue Sarada. But is there more to this plan? Is he doing this to get back at Code in the worst way possible? Is he doing this to finally settle things with the Shinju? More importantly, Jura? Or is he doing this to create a way to gain access to the Shinju's base whenever he wants for a potential ambush attack later on? Apparently there are different reasons as to why Boruto might want to do this mission, and without Kashin Koji knowing. So all that information, as well as me dissecting all these new timelines and futures, will be on the channel in the upcoming week. So if you want to hear me reveal everything about all that, including the true reason why Boruto wants to do this, then go ahead and do the following. Go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and turn on them post notifications so you know when I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.